Hi, I'm Rocco Stano and welcome to StoryMakers. Today we have Thyra Heder with us. She is the author and illustrator of SAL BOAT, a boat by Sal. Welcome, Thyra.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So tell us about the book.
Well, SAL BOAT is a story about a boy named Sal who loves the water and wants to build a boat, and he wants to build it by himself. So he collects materials from his town and he starts to build, and the more he builds, the more his town starts paying attention.
So where does the name Sal come from?
My favorite book growing up was One Morning in Maine by Robert McCloskey, and that was a big influence on me wanting to become an illustrator. And then it takes place in a town called Gloucester, Massachusetts, and there's lots of Sals that live there. And I liked how Sal BOAT sort of sounded like sailboat.
So what inspired you to create this book?
My biggest inspiration was my nephew, Milo, who loves to build things, and he really likes to do them on his own without help, and I really related to that. So I wanted to make a book for him that was all materials and building and action and tools, but Milo is in the book as one of his friends. He's the one that is wearing all black in the book.
Oh, okay.
And my niece, Nico, is also in it, as well as my mom and dad in the kayaks in the background. I put lots of people I know in this book.
So people have to be cautious if they know you, because they may end up in one of your books.
Yes, exactly.
And some of the illustrations are based on actual places.
Yeah, well, so I grew up going to Gloucester, Massachusetts, and it's a place I dearly love. And in Gloucester, they have these little houseboats on the river. And so that's always how I know I'm in Gloucester, is when I see these little boats on the river. Right. And that visual got me excited about the idea for this book. And so I really wanted to honor Gloucester as a place in the book. The cafe that he bikes by is a real cafe in Gloucester, the Last Stop Cafe. Annisquam Bridge, which was the bridge I always ran over with my dog in Lobster Cove, that's in the book. There's also a real boatyard I visited, and I put the boat they were really building, I painted that in the book. I like to base all of my books a little bit on reality, and even if it's not a true story, I like to pull from my real life.
So you mentioned you ran over this bridge with your dog.
Yes.
And there is a dog in this book too.
Yeah, there is a dog. I love dogs. This dog is actually based on my niece and nephew's dog, Llewy, who's a total rascal. I brought him here.
Yes, that's the guy that I saw in the book on many, many, many pages.
How many times did you see him?
Well, a lot. Have you ever counted the number?
I've never counted. I actually don't know how many times I've painted Llewy in the book. Oh. Maybe the viewers could count for me.
That's a great idea. If you have a copy of the book, after you read it, you can then go back and see how many times the dog appears in the book, and you can post your answer in the comments below. So you are the author and the illustrator, so the creator of this book. So we talked about some of the illustrations, but there are words, and you have to actually think about some of the words that you use that people may or may not know. And there actually was one word in the book that I was not familiar with. When he goes into the paint store and he's speaking to the owner of the shop, she talks about something called mistints, and I'm not familiar with that word.
Yeah, so mistints are when people return paint to the store that's the wrong color, that's been mixed the wrong way, and it usually sits at the hardware store, and it usually gets thrown away. And it was important to me to use that in this book because everything Sal uses is sort of found and recycled and scavenged.
Repurposed.
Repurposed, exactly.
Yes, and words also appear on the boats. They're the boat names. And you know, there are so many different boat names, like Best Bad Day and Fried Egg. Do you have a favorite boat name in the book?
Well, Best Bad Day is actually based on my friend Ruth Chan, who's also an author and illustrator. That's my favorite book that she made. But my favorite one is called The Tiny Tuna.
The Tiny Tuna,
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had a boat, what would you name it?
Well, let me think. I got it. Stay Afloat.
Ooh, that's a great one, because that you definitely want that to happen. I actually do have a boat, and it's called Goat Boat.
Goat Boat. You don't see goats on boats that often.
Actually, you should Google it.
Really?
Because there's a long history of goats on boats.
Oh, very interesting. I was getting lost in the illustrations. There are just so many things to find, items, etc. You know, we talked about repurposing, and Sal had skis, and then later the skis become what?
A ladder.
A ladder, yes.
I wanted him to be a real creative spirit. He starts inventing tons of different things on it that have nothing to do with boating, but then they all tie in at the end. So you sort of don't know where he's going, but you get it by the end. But as a thank you, I brought you one of my favorite of Sal's inventions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what could that be?
It's called a snackless.
A snack? Oh,
It's
okay.
a snack, and it's a necklace for you.
And so,
if you get hungry.
if I get hungry, I can go like this?
Yeah. And it matches your suit. It looks amazing.
Yes, a snackless. Oh, I love this. The only thing, maybe a little jam or butter.
But then you would have to really be careful
Oh,
about
this is true.
Yeah.
It was so much fun
Yes, thank
having you
you.
here today.
It was so much fun to be back.
You'll have to, and I will always cherish
Yeah,
my
wear that
snackless.
all day.
Yes, I definitely will. Remember, until next time, read a book in any format